So the gaskets have been changed on the manifolds to try and prevent the oil leaks. It's got the new oil metering lines in, which you can just see down there. I've had it running and there's oil flowing through those. This has got the new intake manifold on there. It's got a new manifold on the upper. All built back together. It starts and runs, idles fine. There's still smoke coming out of the exhaust. It was running quite rough to start with, but after a bit of investigation, I didn't have this this air intake line coupled together right, so I took it apart again and fixed that. A few other jobs that have been done. I've got battery clamp on, which it needs for testing. The side repeaters didn't work, so they've got some new bulb holders glued inside them because they'd all corroded away. The bulbs weren't even making any contact. And similar with the indicator on this side in here. This was again corroded. The horns now work. I thought there was a wiring fault with those. Turns out it was just that the, if you'll focus down there, it was just the fuse that had gone. So it's a single fuse that powers the horns and the brake lights, which also work. The rear fog light works. That was the switch which had a dirty contact on it. The interior, got the console glued back up that had some broken brackets in it. The wing mirrors adjust. That's the fog light switch that was faulty. That's now working. The indicator warning lights, there was only one of those working. That was a bulb. And the main beam warning light, that was also a bulb. But in the process of taking that out, I've managed to crack the lens, which is a bugger, but so be it. The wing mirror's got something broken inside it, so it's a bit loose. So it folds on springs and it comes back on springs. But I think there's something broken. I've tried to get inside it and get the glass out, but I think I'm just going to break something there. So all I'm going to do temporarily for a fix is in that gap there. I've got some of this solid rubber. I'm just going to pack that down there and fasten it in, and then that'll make it nice and solid. So I'll just put a couple of bits of blobs of super glue on the end of there. That'll hold that in place. We've had some new tyres fitted, so they're all spankly and shiny. I've been over it with the polisher just to get some of the crap off it, and it's come up all right. It's not brilliant, but it's good enough. There's a few bits of plastic trim need to go in. There's some air vents that under the dash there, the cowling round the steering wheel, that still needs to go back on. And my power steering line bodge, I'm not 100% happy with this. I say bodge, fix, engineering fix. So this line had corroded here and it broke off on that fitting. So I've just shoved a piece of 10mm fuel hose over it and put one of these clamps round. After I'd run it for a little bit, there was a bit of fluid in each of these, and I think it was dripping out of this side here. So I've just tightened that back up a bit more. Hopefully it'll hold. So there's only about 10 or 12mm on the end of that fitting left, and even that's a little bit corroded, so it's only got this one holding on it. So I can't drive it at the moment because it's got no MOT. It's insured from the end of the week, but I still can't drive it. I don't really want to go backwards and forwards with it on the drive, because if it comes off, it's going to piss fluid all over again. So in the garage I'm going to put some cardboard down and spin the wheels backwards and forwards to get some pressure built up in there and see how that goes. The other thing I've thought about trying to fix it with is I've got hold of some of this. This is just 10mm microbore heating pipe and some 10mm compression joints. Now I think that line on there is 3/8 of an inch, so which is about 10mm, but I need to take it apart if it comes off and just try and get one of those olives round it there and just see if they'll grip onto it. Might get a bit of PTFE around it and it may grip. That's another solution that might work. So I'm going to get it down off I'm going to put the under tray back on and then shove it outside and give it a run on the drive, let it idle, bring it up to speed. The other fault that I had, when it got up to temperature, it lost all power, so I couldn't even drive the car back into the garage until I switched it off and then switched it back on again, and it seemed to clear it. So I'm going to run it, get it up to temperature, and I'll just run around it with the video again outside when it's got some sun on it. There's still a few drips of oil coming from between the exhaust and the turbo there. It is oil, it's black and sticky, so I'm presuming it is engine oil, and there's a bit here on the manifold. Now there's nothing further up top, it's just coming from somewhere around here, so it's going to take a little bit of investigation. And the exhaust is still a bit smoky after the gasket changes. Big smoke. been off for 2 minutes now, and I've just started it again. The smoke's reduced by quite a lot, but it's pretty rough idling. See, it's dropped down to about 700 or 800. But I can see a little boost man doesn't move either. Yeah, there's hardly any smoke coming out the back now. I've just been pushing the brakes and the ABS light was on earlier, so I think that's faulty as well, but that seems better now. Apart from the idle's gone a bit low. When you first run it, when it's cold, it's shaking quite a bit. It settles down at about 1200. Idles for about 10-15 minutes, and then I dropped the bonnet, and then the idle dropped, and then that fault came on. But yeah, I mean, it just needs the idle speed moving. It's something hot, cold start related. But the thing there's a bit of smoke, but earlier there were, is it smoke or steam? There's a lot less smoke coming out, so some things are changing. It might just be down to it needs a good run. Left it for an hour, started it again. It's idling quite lumpy and low. I've had the odd backfire as well, which is a bit strange. I've checked the grounds seem to be okay. I've tried adjusting that throttle idle adjustment screw there. I've gone 2 screw turns in and 2 turns back out, and it doesn't seem to make any difference. You can see as it's dropped down to about 800 now, it's quite bumpy. It's still warm, it's still revving up to 5,000 RPM. There's a bit of smoke on it at the moment. Bad as it has been though. When I rev it, we don't get clouds out of it. So it's just been idling, it just gives a quick every now and again where it just backfires. So there we are. So it's been running for about 15-20 minutes now, and the faults come back on now, so I can gently rev, slowly increasing throttle pressure, and it gets to about 4. Then I get I come to a back stop. As soon as I go a little bit more, it cuts. So that sounds like the either the other what am I trying to say? The other fuel injectors coming on, the secondary fuel injectors, or the other ignition coils. So if I stick my foot down, it doesn't want to do anything. But if I gently raise it, then stick my foot down, it cuts. So it could be something to do with the secondary injectors, or when the other set of coils ignition side kicks in. Let's just turn it off. Right, so off. And it warm starts just about. Got heat coming through as well, so the heater matrix is working. And it's back to normal. But I had the bonnet up, and when I dropped to the bonnet, the revs dropped down to about 800, and that fault was on then. So I wonder if there's a loose connection somewhere that's just going when it gets hot. And it's smoking like buggery still, so that's a fault.